Hey there, let's chat about something that might surprise you, how heavy metals can mess with our brains and potentially lead to mental health issues. Heavy metals like lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, and aluminum are everywhere, in our food, water, air, and even in some everyday products. Even though these metals occur naturally, they can become pretty toxic when they build up in our bodies over time, especially in our brains. How do heavy metals affect our brains? When these metals enter our bodies, whether by breathing them in, eating or drinking contaminated stuff, or even through our skin, they tend to accumulate in our central nervous system. And that's where the trouble starts. Here are a few key ways they wreak havoc. Neuroinflammation. Heavy metals like mercury and lead can trigger chronic inflammation in our brains. They activate our brain's immune cells, microglia, releasing inflammatory chemicals and reactive oxygen species, ROS. This ongoing inflammation can damage or even kill neurons, leading to issues like depression, anxiety, and overall cognitive decline. Oxidative stress. These metals can also create an imbalance between harmful ROS and our body's ability to neutralize them with antioxidants. Think of it like rust forming on metal. Over time, this rust damages our brain cells. The result? Memory problems, brain fog, and even an increased risk of neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. Disruption of neurotransmitters. Our brains rely on chemicals like serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and acetylcholine to control our mood and behavior. Heavy metals can interfere with these neurotransmitters' production, release, and balance. For example, mercury and lead can mess with serotonin and dopamine, which might lead to mood swings, depression, anxiety, or even conditions like schizophrenia. Blood-brain barrier damage. Our brain has a unique protective shield called the blood-brain barrier, BBB, that stops harmful substances from getting in. But heavy metals, especially mercury and lead, can damage or sneak past this barrier. When the BBB is compromised, more toxins can enter the brain, leading to further damage and even contributing to developmental issues in children. Endocrine disruption. Heavy metals can also throw our hormone systems off balance. They interfere with hormones like cortisol and thyroid hormones critical for regulating mood, energy, and brain function. This disruption can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even fatigue or cognitive issues. What mental health issues can arise? Depression. Exposure to metals like lead can upset the balance of mood-regulating neurotransmitters, and chronic inflammation can also push you into a depressive state. Anxiety disorders. When heavy metals reduce the calming effects of neurotransmitters like GABA while increasing excitatory ones like glutamate, it can lead to heightened anxiety, panic attacks, and even social anxiety. Cognitive impairment and dementia. High levels of oxidative stress and neuroinflammation from metals like mercury and aluminum have been linked to memory loss, brain fog, and even Alzheimer's disease. Autism spectrum disorders, ASD. There's growing evidence that exposure to heavy metals during early development can disrupt brain growth, potentially contributing to autism and other developmental challenges. Schizophrenia and psychosis. Disruptions in dopamine pathways due to heavy metals like lead and cadmium might play a role in the development of psychotic disorders, where people may experience hallucinations or delusions. The big picture. In a nutshell, heavy metals can really mess with your brain by causing inflammation, oxidative damage, and hormonal imbalances, as well as disrupting the vital neurotransmitter systems. These processes can lead to a range of mental health issues, from depression and anxiety to cognitive decline and even conditions like autism or schizophrenia. What can you do about it? While you can't avoid these metals altogether, they're just part of our modern environment. You can reduce your exposure by being mindful of what you eat, drink, and even your products. Adopting detox strategies and supporting your body's natural ability to eliminate toxins can help protect your brain health. It would also be wise to use a natural heavy metal chelator that has been scientifically tested. See more details at www.heavymetaldetox.org.